Something incredible just happened in Jerusalem, and it's got everyone talking. During a routine repair project at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, one of Christianity's most sacred sites, archaeologists discovered something that's been hiding for 2,000 years. What they found might completely change how we think about one of history's most famous stories. Stick around because this is mind-blowing. Before we continue, please like this video. Let's continue. Back in 2022, Professor Francesca Stasola and her team from Rome started restoration work on the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. They were just trying to preserve this ancient building. But when they dug deeper into the foundation, they found something nobody expected. An entire 2,000-year-old garden, perfectly preserved. We're talking olive trees, grapevines, and plants that grew during Jesus' time. The soil was like a time capsule, filled with ancient seeds, olive pits, grape seeds, and pollen from 2 millennia ago. But here's what's really interesting. This wasn't a wild garden. It had stone walls marking different planting areas. Someone carefully planned and maintained this place. It meant something. And underneath the garden, they found tombs carved directly into solid rock. Okay, so why is this such a huge deal? There's a specific verse in the Gospel of John that says, "Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden." For centuries, scholars debated whether John meant this literally or symbolically. Was it poetry? A metaphor? This discovery just answered that question. The garden is real. It actually existed. The Bible was describing an actual physical place, not using flowery language. And the location? It's outside Jerusalem's ancient city walls, exactly where the Bible says it should be. See, under Jewish law, executions had to happen outside the city to avoid defiling sacred space. And this garden sits precisely where it needs to be, according to biblical accounts. It's not approximately there. It's exactly there. Now let's talk about those tombs. According to the Bible, Jesus was buried in a tomb belonging to a wealthy man named Joseph of Arimathea. The Gospels say it was brand new, carved from rock, and belonged to someone rich. The tombs they found, they match that description perfectly. These aren't simple graves. They're hand-carved from solid rock with high-quality craftsmanship, exactly what you'd expect from an elite burial site. The Gospel of Mark specifically says the tomb was cut out of the rock, and that's precisely what these are. Plus, the garden's location right outside the city walls explains something else. The Bible says Jesus was buried quickly because the Sabbath was coming. They were running out of time. Having a garden and tomb this close to the city? That's perfect for an urgent burial situation. Everything about the geography supports the biblical timeline. Let me break down 6 major ways this discovery confirms the biblical account. First, the garden and tomb sit outside Jerusalem's ancient walls, exactly matching John's gospel description. Second, these are newly carved, rock-hewn tombs, just like the Bible describes Joseph of Arimathea's new tomb. Third, they're hand-cut from solid rock, not natural caves, matching Mark's specific detail about the tomb being cut out of the rock. Fourth, the garden's immediate accessibility explains how they completed a rushed burial before the Sabbath began. Fifth, the olive trees and grapevines aren't random. Throughout the Bible, olive branches symbolize peace and reconciliation, fitting themes for the resurrection narrative. These specific plants connect to deeper spiritual meanings in the New Testament. Sixth, here's a wild twist. In 135 AD, Emperor Hadrian tried to erase Christianity by building a Roman temple over this exact site. But his construction debris actually preserved the garden and tombs for 2,000 years. He tried to destroy it and ended up protecting it. The fact that Hadrian felt compelled to cover this specific location tells us early Christians clearly venerated this place. It was important enough that a Roman emperor wanted it gone. For years, skeptics have argued the Bible is mostly mythology, symbolic stories not meant to be taken literally. But this discovery challenges that entire argument. The garden? Real. The tombs? Real. The location? Real. The burial practices? Real. We're not talking about symbols anymore. We're talking about actual dirt, actual stone, actual seeds you can carbon date. Critics who've spent decades saying the gospel accounts are exaggerated legends now face physical evidence, matching those accounts with remarkable accuracy. The tomb Joseph of Arimathea supposedly provided exists right where it should be. The garden mentioned in John's Gospel is there. The location outside Jerusalem's walls is confirmed. This isn't just an interesting historical find. This is verification of specific biblical claims using hard archaeological evidence. And here's what really gets me. This story was hidden underground for almost 2,000 years by someone trying to destroy it. Emperor Hadrian's attempt to erase Christianity created a time capsule that preserved everything perfectly. Now the Church of the Holy Sepulchre stands on that exact spot, and we have archaeological proof supporting that ancient tradition. This is one of those rare moments where archaeology, historical records, and religious texts all point to the same conclusion. The crucifixion and burial of Jesus aren't just theological concepts. They happened in a real place we can now examine, study, and visit. Regardless of your personal beliefs, you have to acknowledge what we're looking at here. The Bible describes specific places, specific practices, specific details about Jesus' burial. Modern archaeology has uncovered evidence matching those descriptions with remarkable accuracy. Christianity isn't just abstract beliefs. It's rooted in real events that left physical traces we can measure today. The places mentioned in the Gospels aren't fairy tale settings. They're actual geographic locations. And sometimes we discover proof they existed exactly as described. In a world where people are increasingly skeptical, this discovery reminds us that some ancient texts got the details right. Sometimes faith and evidence point in the same direction. This discovery beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre will be studied and debated for years to come. The intersection of faith, history, and science is fascinating, especially when they all align like this. Archaeology keeps surprising us. There's still so much buried beneath our feet waiting to be discovered. Makes you wonder what else is out there, doesn't it? If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more fascinating discoveries. Drop a comment. What other biblical sites should we cover next? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.